Hello, welcome back to Aaron's 1025R Adventures. Today I'm down at my dad's and I'm working on his Ford 8N and his finish mower. I brought the PTO Shield down that I couldn't successfully install on my brush hog I'm setting up for my dad. So we're going to install it on his finish mower so he's safe. I also brought down my grease and my lube and everything. So there used to be a shield on here one time, and here's the old bearings. And they just pop off like the new bearings pop on. Although to me they look like they were on the wrong direction, but it could have just been the way that style shield went on. So first thing I'll do is take both those off. I'll wipe off the groove where they sit. I'd already popped the shields off on the finish mower so I could clean the grass off and grease the grease points. So the shield comes with 4 bearings. 1, 2. There's 2 sets of each bearings. This opening's a little bit wider on each set. This set was the one I was going to use on the brush hog. Next size down is what fits on here. So what I'll do is just like last time, I'll put some dry lube on there to make sure that bearing's lubed up. I'm using a little different can this time. I'm going to try same company. This has dry lube with Teflon. Has the same directions. It says, "Hey, shake the can." This way I make sure there's actually lube on that bearing. Now this PTO shaft has the pull-back collar to release it from this end, from the tractor end. It actually has the button style to release it from the mower end. So what we'll do, this actually has the warnings on it. It's a danger, missing shield, do not operate. There's stickers on the finish deck also that you can see once the shields are gone. I didn't bring down my paint marker, so I'm going to have to be careful with this to make sure I get back the same way. This is round with bumps on each end. So like my other one, it can only go on one way. So I want to make sure I get it on the right way. This shaft doesn't look too bad. It's got a light coating and just not a lot of seeds like mine had on it. So I'm just going to spray it down with the dry lube with the Teflon. So like I said on the other one, that just moves in and out a little bit. It's not a high speed movement. So I'm hoping with the dry lube it doesn't collect crap. This shield, this is the part that rides on the bearing. This goes towards the U-joint. It's a hot, muggy day here. It's early in the morning, but it's only going to get worse. So I'm trying to get this video shot before I get completely drenched. Let's see, that was oriented that way. I watched where my Zerk fittings were when I was cleaning them off earlier. Okay, so at this point I don't know if there's really a standard. If the big part of the shaft was towards the finish mower, well, mine, the big part of the shaft is towards the tractor. I don't know if it makes a difference or not. So the one side has the pull collar and one side has the push pin. Which is easier for you? My dad's sitting off camera. Which is easier for you to operate, this little pull collar or this push pin? Do you know? The pull collar is easier? Okay, well, so we'll leave that towards the tractor. And on this shield, it says this is the shield that goes towards the tractor. I'll spray a little lube on this new bearing. And then all you do is push the center of these down a little bit and they pop open. And then it just slides in until this part fully seats down in there. And then this just clips back into place. And there you go. So there's that half the shield. And then the nice thing is, you can just pop it back off, slide it back a little bit, and you can get in here to do your greasing, which I should have done before I slid it on, but that gives me the opportunity to show you how easy it is to just pop it right back off. So this is that lube shuttle I showed you in the last video. It's got the G200 EP grease in it, which is more for the high-speed PTOs and stuff. And I'll put that on these pulley grease points. There you go, now that's back on. So now, let me set this down here a little farther. I'll do this side. Well, this time I'll actually grease it first. If I can get in there. There it goes. That's the problem when you take this out, it's got to gain suction, so it takes a minute to, there it goes. There we have fresh grease coming out. We'll spray the bearing surface. Actually, I'll shoot a little lube up in here. This just spreads. I'll slide it up from the end, then you just spread it to clip it around. There you go, that fits nice and tight, that groove meets. When I used the bigger one, the groove meets, but you got a lot of up and down slop. when you use next sides down, that groove doesn't quite come together. So this inside one's the same way. You just push it down on this air and pull up on the outside. I find it's easier if I have the two clips to the bottom, that way they stay out of my way when I'm sliding this together. And it barely fits. It does spin though, so the where the outside shell was flanged out, just, I don't know if I can see it, it's got soft. It's just right here at the beginning where it's a little tighter. So what I'm going to do is spray some lube on this connection here and connection up here. Now last year at one point I took this gearbox off and took it to a New Holland dealer who deals with all this Ford equipment and had them put brand new seals in it and new oil. So that's in good shape. I've got an overrunning clutch up here, which you need to have on these older tractors to keep the mower from pushing the tractor when you're coming into a stop position. You let off the gas and the momentum of the mower blades can actually drive through the PTO shaft and keep pushing you without this. I'll put several squirts in here. Looks like it's leaking around this back seal. And I don't know when the last squirts were put in here. I don't see any coming out yet, so I'm putting a lot in. Alright, we had a slight interruption there. So I just greased that. Let me get my alignment here checked out. See where that circ fitting is so I can get it lined up with the other one. So I know my orientation. Okay, the zerk fitting goes that way. Right now my zerk fitting's on the top. There my zerk fitting's on the top. Just push the button, slide that on until it latches in place. And up here you just pull back the collar. Slide it on until the collar latches. Actually, before that latches, I'll shoot a little lube around it. There we go. It's latched on. We got about 5 inches of slippage here for the mower to bounce up and down. We'll see how that works out. I'll grease these grease joints on the finish mower, and then we'll put the shields back on. Second one might be just out of camera. It's just same as the first one I did. And what I'm doing is just holding the handle together with this little key ring thing over it, and that keeps it from getting pressed apart or pressed together and squeezing grease everywhere. Just check and make sure I actually hit the record button. Okay. So that goes back in a little box of goodies I brought from up north. There's a single bolt there and 3 nuts out here to hold the shield on. They're ½ inch on this shield. Now actually, if I determine I need to, they have longer of these yellow baffles. You can order extra, so they come back farther. We'll see if we actually want to do that later at some point. As you can see, well, I don't know how well you can see, but the PTO is not moving, and I can spin this shield, so it's operating properly. I did forget to put some grease in the grease fittings there. Do that real quick. All that is a little channel that helps feed grease down onto that bearing. The way it's molded into that plastic, it's kind of hard to get a lock on it. Okay, a little bit fast forward, we got the PTO fittings greased. I got the air shield put back on. These are Dad's Pat's quick hitches, which we really like because you don't have to worry about your implement being quick hitch compatible. I'll see if I can get the tractor to fire up, turn on the PTO so you can see it spin, and then that'll be the end of this video as we go in and try to cool down a little bit.
look at it.